I wonder how exactly should we start this? Perhaps with a video that vividly expresses the intense pain felt by every crypto investor. It needs to be truly relatable. Market is cooked. And with that, welcome to a new crypto update video. I have no idea. I can't really give you anything else at the moment. Bitcoin at $63,200. Software stocks are in free fall because some AI concerns keep getting bigger. On the one hand, AI is a beacon of hope. On the other hand, AI can destroy other companies. Nobody really cares about crypto, so less and less liquidity is flowing out. Asia is also selling us off a bit more. Yeah, I have no idea. It just doesn't look good, and it probably won't get any better unless Nvidia surprises us tomorrow with insanely good numbers and an insanely good outlook. Then we can talk about whether we're fucking back. But as things stand right now, it doesn't really look good. We'll definitely take a look at it. Everything, all the news, all the charts, everything that's important for today. But before we get started, as always, feel free to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, feel free to join the free Telegram talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join. You can find the link for that for free below in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we discuss here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange, WEEX. You can also find the link for that for free below in the video description. And yes, as I said, there are up to 11,500 USDT in bonuses that you can claim. And there are always some perks, even when I'm live. Speaking of live, tonight at 7 p.m., another live stream on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. So Bitcoin at $63,100. It's going lower and lower. And yes, last night we were sold off pretty heavily again. Yesterday, we already marked out the Asia range here from 64,300 up to 67,000. But yes, there's just way too much uncertainty. That's simply dominating the market at the moment, to be honest. On the one hand, there's the topic I just mentioned, Citrini-fueled AI scare trade, ESS, S stock rise. Citrini released a report yesterday or the day before, which we'll take a closer look at tonight in the live stream. This report could potentially, or rather it predicts, that by 2028 there could be a very, very large market crash because AI will cost a lot of jobs, and as a result, of course, revenue, or rather consumption, will collapse. That's a good point. In my opinion, that's a bit too much uncertainty because I don't think it will happen that quickly. But in the long run, that could definitely be a factor. Then, just recently, a few brand new AI models were released to the public as well. And that specific development led, for example, to IBM's stock price dropping significantly by 10% just yesterday. After Anthropic announces that Claude can streamline COBOL code. And that didn't just happen to IBM, it also happened to CrowdStrike, and now it's happening to a lot of software stocks in general, that they're coming under pressure because of Claude or similar models. Other AIs can either hack code, perform better, or ultimately security protocols. So errors in them can be found much faster than by any software company, and that puts the markets under a lot of pressure. And that's really not good because now they're already starting to drop as well. And we don't even have the Nvidia numbers yet. That could make for an interesting morning, in my opinion. So if Nvidia doesn't deliver tomorrow, then I think things will really take off. And then the WEEX down here will probably be the least of our problems. But for now, it's still holding. But overall, we still have very, very little volume. Of course, you also have to say that if we take a quick look at the spot order book, yes, there is a bit of dip buying going on, but it's just 30 million. Sure, you have to say we were already at the same spot yesterday, or slightly higher there. It was 60, 70 million. But look at the volume. The volume is just completely dead. The market is dead right now. But where is the euphoria or anything supposed to come from that could push the markets up? And for me, yesterday, I also posted it in the Telegram group. This would currently be the most bullish case I could imagine, that we simply fill this wick, the liquidity, all the way into the golden pocket again. In the hope, I really mean in the hope, that Nvidia doesn't deliver so that this whole bubble topic finally gets flushed out of the market. The whole software topic, which is still in play this week, especially because of all these AIs and so on. Then there's that one report about weak consumer spending and everything that goes with it. All of that is now coming together nicely, including the USA and Iran. That would cause a big fat shakeout. 10-20% even on the US stock markets. And then the relief rally until, let's say, May. And then comes Japan. And that's exactly the topic we already talked about in the live stream on Sunday. I can gladly go over it again tonight. But that's more or less my theory for the next few weeks and months. So for me personally, there is still nothing bullish. If there were anything bullish where I could say, yeah, okay, that's awesome, I would show it to you at any time. But there's no point in saying, so hey, look, this company bought Bitcoin. Congratulations. Michael Saylor is also buying Bitcoin and is completely underwater. That doesn't help anyone. If anything, we need to look at macro news, because as long as we continue to have such high interest rates and the rates stay where they are, higher for longer, that's a done deal, and nothing is going to change about that for now. As long as these interest rates remain this high, macro factors are what move the market. Let's be honest, because only when interest rates are actually lowered, which at the moment is rather unlikely, if that happens in July, then we can talk about a new cycle where we can say, okay, interest rates are falling, we're in an easing cycle, and now in the end we can start printing money again, and things will go up, possibly with a new Fed chair. But at the moment, macro factors are simply what completely dominate. That's what we need to pay attention to. If anything negative comes up in the macro environment, like we've seen in the last few days, or honestly for weeks now, then we have to lean more towards going short. But if there's any opportunity where you can say, okay, maybe a bit of a trend reversal could be coming, at least in the short term with a relief rally, then we can go long again. But right now, I just find it hard to see anything bullish. Look at the dollar. The dollar is rising, gold is rising, silver is rising. What does that mean? Risk off. It's that simple, and that's how we ultimately have to trade Bitcoin as well. So for me at the moment, that's the only thing I can imagine. Maybe for today, we could go up to 64, 65,000. Well, forget about that for now. That's more of a midterm target. In the short term, we might move up a bit here, pick up some liquidity, but then continue the downward trend much more clearly. So that's just how it is. My best case scenario, but that's my best case. Of course, there's still liquidity up top, 68, 69,000. You can already see it's getting less. Down below, we still have the biggest chunk at 55 and just under 60,000 US dollars. Spot order book is empty, no liquidity on the heat map. Doesn't look good in my opinion. Let's move over to the altcoins. They look absolutely terrible too. Really. So Ethereum, not pretty. Next step, best case, $1,600 down to $1,500. That would also be the next interim buy zone for me. The biggest buy zone at the moment is at $1,100. But you also have to say that would still be a 37% drop. Something bigger would have to happen for that. Hey, I didn't say an airdrop or anything like that. What would have to happen for that? I don't think that's likely at the moment. We're not there yet. Solana, forget it, fill the wick. And then we need a new chart pattern or a new setup, then we can talk further. At the moment, the way the chart looks here and with a wick like that of 13%, sorry guys, no way, no way. Let's move over to the Forex pairs. So DXY, so the dollar is rising sharply, Safe Haven is rising, USD, Swiss franc, even that's going up. Wow, interesting. People are moving more into US dollars than into Swiss francs. USD JPY unchanged, slight drop yesterday, today a bit stronger again because the dollar is holding up, so also pretty uninteresting. Gold, on the other hand, I wrote this in the Telegram group for you yesterday. Please, where did I write it? Here, for sure, never get greedy. S&P is dropping, USD, JPY is moving, take profit on gold and shorts. So everything that was moving yesterday, gold was around 5,210 or so. Take profits, that's important. It's important and correct. Really never get greedy. Just because we've gone up a bit now, there's still uncertainty. Why is gold rising? Not even more, wait and see. But always take profits, secure your position, and wait. That's rule number one, because that's the only way you'll keep your profits. The same could possibly have worked with a long position in silver. It doesn't look bad for us to keep moving upward because we're in a risk-off sector or period. Everything that's risk-off, gold, silver, the dollar, currencies, raw materials, commodities, precious metals, everything is pumping at the moment. Why? Because things are hitting the fan. It's as simple as that. Software stocks are under pressure. The AI bubble, earnings were crap, or the outlook was crap. USA, Iran, Japan carry trade. We have enough points we can address that haven't even happened yet and are still on the table. That's uncertainty. Geopolitical uncertainty. That's how simple it works. As I said, I'm still long on gold. I'm not in silver. The dollar is giving me a bit of concern because it's simply bullish as well. And that's a complete risk-off sector. And if the dollar heads towards 100, then we again have to think about Japan's growth, carry trade, and intervention. It all somehow flows together. The stock markets, on the other hand, the DAX is slowly starting to move. Personally, I like that. The Dow Jones dropped yesterday, NASDAQ dropped, but they're still holding phenomenally well at their support. And that's also a bit unsettling because the more support is being tried to build here. And at the same time, we're seeing a volatility index that currently only knows one direction, and that's upwards. And we've been consolidating upwards here for quite some time now. It's like a trend channel. It's hedging. People are positioning themselves accordingly. Hedge positions for the next possible move upwards on the VIX and the next possible sell-off in the stock markets. And this has been working, if we're honest, since January. So for 1.5 months or almost 2 months now. Hedging or building hedge positions has been happening here. And is it a coincidence or not? Coincidence. How long have we been moving sideways here now? Always in this range. Hey, coincidentally, since mid-January. And with the NASDAQ, hey, coincidentally, since the beginning of February. These are the kinds of points you should simply pay attention to. And at any moment now, this turnaround could just happen where we drop significantly over a few days because this whole software AI boom and everything else is just completely getting out of hand right now. If Trump now does something with Iran, then anyway, that's the news that might possibly be meant to cover up something else. That's just a bit of my suspicion. Sorry that the video turned out a bit longer today, but you just have to lay out the connections a bit. And at the same time, I haven't even touched on oil, but oil at just under $67 doesn't really suggest that everything is running smoothly either. So the trend was quite clear. The last few months have been more downward than upward. But geopolitical uncertainty, that's the big problem. Feel free to share your opinion about it in the comments below. I'd definitely be interested. Otherwise, that's it from my side. We'll hear from each other again this evening at 7 p.m., where we'll go over everything again in a very thorough and in-depth way. We'll dive into that then. I'd be happy if you join us. Otherwise, as I said, that's it from my side. Thank you for watching. I wish you all a wonderful and successful day. And we'll also hear from each other in the group. Until then, bye, ciao, and as always, stay creepy.